Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So my name is Sunny Zhang. I work on the program marketing team at Silicon Valley Clean Energy, and I will be your presenter today. Ooh, let's go to the next slide. So we're going to be sharing lots of cool info today, but just in case you need an extra bonus to keep you here to the end, we will share a feedback survey, very short, at the end of this presentation, which if you fill out, you will get a chance to win a $100 credit on your bill. So please stay with us till the end. It's not going to take the full hour, 30 or 40 minutes tops, and we have lots of information to share with you. So some quick housekeeping items. Everyone is on mute today, so we can get through this content as quickly as possible. Feel free to ask your questions still in the Q&A box anytime. My team will answer them as they come in, and we also have dedicated Q&A for the end of the presentation. And we will be sharing the recording today with you all in the follow-up email. So here's what we're going to cover today. First, we're going to do a very quick introduction to Silicon Valley Clean Energy, and then we're going to talk about energy savings. So this is divided into two parts. Quick energy wins, we're going to talk about finding your best electricity rate, ways to optimize your usage according to your rate, and bill assistance programs available. Big energy wins is where we're going to be spending the bulk of this presentation. We offer lots of rebates and incentives that many people might not know about yet. So we'll talk you through how to take advantage of those, and then we will close with the Q&A. Okay, so who are we? Silicon Valley Clean Energy. We are your community-owned, not-for-profit electricity provider. So if you live in one of the communities shown on the map, you are getting your clean electricity from us. We were formed back in 2016 when the cities came together and decided we want more local control over where our energy comes from. So from the very beginning, SVCE's mission has been to fight climate change by accelerating clean energy adoption. And because we are a not-for-profit public agency, we reinvest all of our revenues back into the community. So we've dedicated over $116 million to customer rebates and offers and services, such as the ones we will share with you all today. Now, what about PG&E? I know some of you are thinking this. They're still in the picture, of course. So SVCE, we build and procure your electricity from clean and renewable sources. PG&E, they still own and maintain the infrastructure. So they deliver the electricity to you over their poles and wires and also handle customer service and billing. And this is how SVCE shows up on your PG&E bill. So note that we are not an extra charge. We get some confused questions from customers sometimes asking about this line item. So no, we're not an extra charge, but we have replaced the generation portion of your electricity service. And we do so at a 4% discount compared to if you'd stayed with PG&E for your electric generation. So along with other forms of bill savings, we have saved our customers over $141 million on their bills since 2017. So as an SVC customer, you are getting cleaner electricity and saving money. Okay, so to make sure you're all paying attention, we are going to have pop quizzes sprinkled throughout. So which of the following is true about SVCE? We serve 13 communities in Santa Clara County. As a not-for-profit public agency, SVC has reinvested millions in the community offers and services. SVC generates electricity at 4% discount, or all of the above. Okay, I'm going to give it 10 more seconds. Looks like most of you are getting it. Good job. Okay, I'm going to end it. Yay. Ooh. Okay, perfect. Good job. Let's continue. So this is a recap of what we just covered. So hopefully you now have a better idea of where your energy is coming from. All right, let's now dive into energy savings, starting with quick energy wins. So we're going to talk about finding your best rate, optimizing energy usage, and bill payment assistance. So what is an electric rate plan? Our surveys have shown that about half of our customers don't actually know what rate they're on. Don't worry. I was also one of those people. I didn't really know what an electric rate plan was before I started working here. But it's actually pretty important when we talk about energy savings because Your rate plan determines the price you pay for the electricity you use. And most of us are on some sort of a time of use rate. So the price you pay for electricity is determined by when you use it. There are peak hours, so in this case, 4 to 9 p.m., when electricity costs more because demand is high. Everybody is coming home, turning on their appliances, right? So to meet this extra demand, expensive and polluting fossil fuel plants have to be turned on. And then we have these off-peak hours, so electricity is cheaper because there is less demand, and there's also more renewable energy on the grid in the form of solar during the daytime. So when you shift your usage to these off-peak hours, you can save on your bill. For example, by using delay start on your dishwasher or scheduling your EV charging to take advantage of these cheaper hours. So depending on your home and your lifestyle, you could be saving more money on a different electric rate plan, right? For example, those of you who have an electric vehicle, you may want to check out this EV rate. You would be getting cheaper electricity to charge overnight or in the mornings. So check out these links that we've shared to learn more about your rate options. PG&E also has this rate comparison tool that analyzes your historical usage to see if you could have saved more on another rate. But do keep in mind, this tool only looks at your past usage. So if you start shifting your usage today to those off-peak hours, it's not going to reflect those savings. So how do we optimize our energy use? So number one, you want to take advantage of cheaper energy during off-peak times. So for example, running your big appliances like your dishwasher and your AC and EV charger after midnight or in the morning or early afternoons. Preventing energy leaks, so weather stripping and adding insulation so that your heating and your air conditioning stays inside and is not leaked outside. You can check out our DIY energy efficiency toolkit. This is a free toolkit you can check out from your library. The toolkit comes with free light bulbs, shower heads, weather stripping, and you actually get to keep those for free. There's also cool tools like kilowatt meters that you can use to measure the energy use of your appliances. And then finally, you can get a free PG&E home energy audit to see exactly the measures you can implement in your own home. All right, so SVCE and PG&E does offer bill assistance programs. So for income qualified customers, you could qualify for monthly bill discounts through PG&E's CARE and FARA programs, plus additional bill credits from SVCE, which could add up to a total nearly 40% in monthly savings. You could also potentially qualify for a one-time payment assistance for past due bills and free energy efficiency upgrades to your home. The medical baseline program is a monthly discount for residents who depend on power for medical and independent living needs. So for example, if you need electricity to power a medical device. So how it works is this would apply the lowest price to a portion of your bill, and you will also get additional alerts ahead of public safety power shutoffs. So text messages, phone calls, or even a door knock to your home to make sure that you're aware. PG&E offers flexible payment plans to give you more time to pay your bill. So you could spread your account balance out or choose a payment extension. So this can help you manage that temporary financial strain. Okay, our second pop quiz. So for residents on the TUC rate, what time should you avoid running big appliances to save? Let's see if you're paying attention. Think about that time where everyone's coming home and turning on their appliances. So you want to avoid that time to avoid the peak time when energy demand is high, right? Okay, great job. Looks like most of y'all have got it. Cool, 4 to 9 p.m. Remember to try to avoid 4 to 9 p.m. Okay, great job. So a quick recap of what we covered in this section. So make sure you are on the best rate plan for your home. You want to shift your energy use to cheaper off-peak times, and also implement some easy energy efficiency measures to your home. You can see exactly what those are for your home with this free home energy audit. and if applicable, sign up for bill payment assistance. So that brings us to big energy wins. This is the highlight of today's presentation. So we're going to talk about going electric, what that means, how it helps you save, and then we will cover rebates and incentives for your home and electric vehicle. So I guess level setting here. First, if we're talking about energy efficiency, we do need to address fossil fuels because that's currently where we get most of our energy from. And this is a number that really surprised me when I first learned about it. Almost 2/3 of carbon emissions in Santa Clara County come from fossil fuels used right here in our homes and cars. In Santa Clara County, we still mostly rely on burning gas for power, and we have run the numbers. What that, if you really break it down, what that looks like is 178,000 water heaters, 128,000 space heaters, all the way down to 421,000 gas cars. But what this really means, though, for us is we have a pretty big opportunity here to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels with just a few household decisions on what we use in our homes and how we get around. And that brings us to electrification or going electric. Now, what does that mean? So going electric means replacing the old gas appliances in our homes and gas vehicles with ones that run on clean electricity, right? So, thinking about your home and your car, these are some of your biggest investments. So when it comes time for a change or an upgrade, like we all want the best stuff, right? We all want the best upgrades. Like when your water heater breaks and you have to replace the water heater, you probably want the most energy efficient option that is also safer and cleaner for your family. So what do those more energy efficient options look like? Well, heat pumps are the most efficient way to heat and cool your home. So fun fact is the bulk of our energy use in our homes actually goes towards heating. So heating our water, heating our air, and also air conditioning. So if we can reduce the energy it takes for heating and cooling, it can make a pretty big difference in terms of your energy savings. So heat pumps, these work like your refrigerator, which is also a heat pump. It uses the same technology. Heat pumps harvest heat from the surrounding air, which is way more energy efficient than having to generate heat from combustion. So that's why it's so much more efficient than traditional gas heaters. By the way, heat pumps are also not a brand new technology, right? Like those of you who have traveled abroad might have already seen them in other countries. My own grandpa had a heat pump like 10 years ago, right? So the tech has only gotten better over the years. And we've seen our own residents here in SVCE service area who switch to a heat pump and combine it with the right rate plan. They save $250 to $350 or more per year. And not only is it more efficient, heat pumps are also just more pleasant to use, right? Heat pumps, they have AC and heating all in one. They provide more even heating throughout the home. Heat pump water heaters offer you that greater temperature control for your water. And now in this country, the trend is also picking up. Heat pumps are outselling gas furnaces, which we really love to see because we love heat pumps. Induction stoves, so these are not your grandma's old electric resistance stove. They actually work completely differently. Induction stove, they use electromagnetic induction to generate heat within the cookware itself. So unlike traditional gas and old electric stoves, induction heats the pot and pan directly and not the surface. So that's why it's also far more efficient. They can boil water twice as fast. This is something our team has tested ourselves. It really is so much faster. And because it heats the cookware directly, the surface actually remains relatively cool. You don't have an open flame, which is safer for your pets and kids and for your indoor air quality. And it keeps your kitchen cool, right? That's why we have professional chefs that prefer induction, right? You can imagine they just have so many stoves running in the kitchen, gets really hot. So induction keeps it all cool. It's also way more precise for temperature control. So the French Laundry, they use induction for their pastry kitchen. They really need that precise temperature control for their delicious pastries. And even if you're not ready to switch out your entire cook range, you could consider a portable induction cooktop. This is what I use in my own home. I don't really turn on the gas stove anymore if I can help it. I just plug this into a regular outlet and I'm able to get cooking. Super simple. Okay, so those are the appliances. Now, people commonly ask us this question when we talk about electrifying. Will my bill go up? And it's a very valid question, right? So here's an easy way to think about this. Down, up, down. Your gas usage will go down as you're using fewer gas appliances. You will be using more electricity, but overall, your bill will be lower. The key is to switch to an electric home rate plan. This gives you that discounted electricity during off-peak times. And on average, we see residents who switch to a heat pump combined with the right electric rate plan save $250 to $350 per year. Now that is with minimal behavioral changes. If you add in some small changes like smart scheduling your heat pump to run during off-peak times, we see customers save even more. Another question we commonly get asked, would all electric appliances make me more vulnerable if there's an outage? Now, again, valid question. So first off, gas appliances for the most part are not gonna really work in a power outage either. Your furnace, your water heater, they still require some electricity to run, so they're not gonna work. Some gas stoves may be able to manually be lit by hand, but some models also don't allow you to do that as a safety measure. So for the most part, your gas appliances are not going to be any less impacted. Now, secondly, electrification is an important part of the solution to build grid reliability for future demand. All electric appliances help the grid work smarter, not harder. Because they're able to run on those more flexible hours, like when there is a surplus of renewable energy on the grid. So that allows us to reduce strain on the grid during peak hours, which reduces the risk of power outages in the first place. Now, outages are pretty infrequent in our service area. However, it's always a good idea to be prepared. So you can check out this resource from the county office with resources that you have available to you. Okay, so to recap, going electric, multiple benefits for your home and community. These are all photos of our real SVCE residents who have gone electric in their own homes. And the good news is we have lots of rebates and incentives available to help make this easier for you. And remember, you don't have to do everything all at once, right? Your appliances have a typical lifespan of 10 to 20 years. So when it comes time to replace your appliances, it's helpful to know that there are more efficient alternatives out there, and you can even get a rebate to help you out. And then one other thing I find cool about all of this is compared to what we normally hear about how to be sustainable, how to help the environment, right? Like don't eat meat or like recycle everything. Here we're talking about the household decisions you only need to make a few times over the next few decades, and they are going to have a long-term and positive impact on your community. So with that, let's talk about rebates and incentives, the fun part. We're going to talk about the home first, so rebates for home appliances, and then we have some services that we provide to help you out. And then we'll walk through an example of how you can stack the rebates to really reduce that upfront cost. Okay, so SVCE, we offer up to $13,000 in rebates to help you switch from gas to electric home appliances. So we have a base rebate amount. This is open to all of our customers. If you meet the income qualifications, you also get a bigger rebate amount. Now, these are our core rebates. Once you install any one of these, you can also apply for an add-on rebate. Add-on rebates applied on top of a core rebate. These are not available individually. We do have a rebate for an electric panel upgrade if you want to do it. Our analysis has shown that over 90% of homes in our service area are able to fully electrify on existing 100 amp panels. So you may not need this, right? But we do have it available. We also have a rebate for induction cookware. You might not need new cookware if you just test your existing cookware, see if a magnet sticks to the bottom. That means it will work on induction. But if you want new cookware, there's a rebate for you. And if you go fully electric, you no longer need gas at all, and you disconnect your gas line, we will give you an extra $500 to celebrate, because that's an awesome achievement. Getting a rebate, pretty straightforward. You'll want to reserve your rebate so we can hold that amount for you up to 120 days, but you can always request an extension. And then do your installation. You can either DIY or with the contractor, but make sure to get the permits if your city requires it. And then after you submit your claim, we'll send you the check in the mail in 3 to 4 weeks. Now, what about finding a contractor or applying to other rebates, right? Well, we have the tool to help you do that. This is a free assisted home upgrades portal where we have a contractor directory. You can request free quotes from multiple contractors all in one place. It also simplifies the rebate process because we know it can be complicated to sift through multiple programs, multiple websites, right? So with this portal, you can apply for all the rebates all in one place, of course, including our SVCE rebates automatically included. Now, what if you're like, okay, I'm just too busy. I'm too busy. I want someone to just come in and do the whole thing for me, right? If that's you, then you can check out this full service home upgrades program. Now, we know home projects can be a lot to manage, especially if you're doing multiple appliances in your home. So we have a full team to help take care of everything for you. We'll have a dedicated project manager, pre-vetted contractors, and we'll just take care of everything for you. We offer transparent fixed pricing. You'll know exactly what to expect. And SVCE rebates are auto-applied. We'll also help you apply for other rebates. If you're income qualified, you can get this all for $0 out of pocket. There's no catch to that, trust me. And we offer this because from an equity perspective, we want to make sure that everyone is part of the clean energy transition. So this is available for a limited number of households on a rolling basis. Okay, now imagine one day your water heater suddenly breaks. You have no hot water. Oh no, what do I do? You can call us. Call our emergency water heater replacement team. We will come in and help you replace your broken water heater with a brand new and efficient heat pump water heater. This program is, by the way, coming back soon. It's currently on pause while we're making some updates, but this is great to keep in your back pocket for when your water heater inevitably breaks. And now for many homes, it's straightforward to install the heat pump, but some homes may require some additional upgrades before it's heat pump ready. So if that's the case, our top priority is still going to be to restore your hot water. So we will provide a loaner gas water heater as a temporary measure, and the loaner is provided to you at no extra cost. And then once we make the additional upgrades, we'll swap in the heat pump water heater for you. And similar to the main full service program, we take care of everything for you. You get transparent fixed pricing, rebates automatically applied, and no cost upgrades for our income qualified residents. What about solar? So SVC, we currently don't have a rebate for solar or battery, hopefully one day soon. But for now, we do have this free tool to help you get free, no obligation quotes and talk to a solar expert. There's also a 30% federal tax credit that is available for both solar and battery for those of you who are interested. So this is a good place to start for solar. Okay, so here is an example breakdown of the savings you could get from stacking multiple incentives. Now, this upfront cost is based on over 600 projects from real SVCE residents. But please keep in mind, the pricing can vary for every home based on like your tank size or labor or extra materials. But once you stack all the rebates, you'll see that this end cost is cheaper, or at the very least, it is cost competitive with a gas water heater. Now, combine these savings with the savings you're going to get from your monthly energy bill. Over the long term, a heat pump water heater will be cheaper to operate. Special call out for Milpitas and Mountain View. Your cities have partnered with us to provide an extra rebate for you. So all you have to do is go through the regular SVCE rebate claim process, and this extra amount will be automatically applied. So hopefully this gives you a better idea of the multiple incentives and rebates that are available out there to help you save. So to recap, these are the 3 primary pathways available for your home upgrade. If your project is relatively simple, you already have a contractor you work with, right? You can just go ahead and get the rebate. This is pretty straightforward. But this rebate these are also included in our other two pathways. So, oops. So if you need a little extra help getting started, right, like finding a contractor, applying to other rebates, go with our assistant portal. And then if you want the full service, everything taken care of for you option, go with our full service program. And we also have this special emergency service for broken water heater replacement. Okay, so that was everything for the home. Now we'll talk about electric vehicles. So we'll talk about our EV rebate, ways you can save on charging, and stacking. An example of stacking incentives. We offer a $2,000 rebate for our income qualified residents for electric vehicles and plug-in hybrids. If you visit one of our participating dealerships, you can get this rebate as an instant discount directly at the dealership. Now, that's the simplest way to do it. It just saves you the paperwork, right? Or you can go to any dealership, doesn't have to be a participating dealership. So any dealership to get your car, and you can apply for the rebate post-purchase. For our apartment and condo residents, we know that one of the biggest barriers to EV adoption is access to charging. So that's why we offer this $100,000 incentive to help cover the cost of installing charging at your multifamily building. For previous projects, we've been able to cover up to 75 and even 100% of the total project costs. So incentives are distributed on a first come, first served basis. So make sure to share this with your HOA or property manager so you can get these incentives before the funds run down. For our single family residents, PG&E has an EV charger rebate covering up to 100% of the costs or 50% if you're not income qualified. So you can get this for your EV charger. And by now, we should all know that the time of day that you charge matters a lot in terms of your money savings. So to help you charge at the cheapest time, you can use our free smart charging app. All you have to do is just plug in your car and the app will automatically sync your charging to the cheaper hours. You also get notifications for low carbon hours where you can earn some extra credits by charging at specific times or avoiding charging at specific times. And if you charge at home, make sure to switch to the electric vehicle rate plan. This is going to make electricity cheaper when you charge during those off-peak hours. And you can see exactly the kind of savings you could expect through the PG&E rate savings calculator. You can actually plug in your car and your mileage, and it will help you calculate what your savings will look like. So here's an example of how you can stack incentives for a used car. This is for a used 2022 Toyota Prius Prime. It is a plug-in hybrid with an EV rating of 25 miles. So this is actually sufficient for many commutes. You could be doing most of your commuting on electric and save on gas. Now for a used car, you can stack the SVCE rebate with the PG&E used EV rebate. Both of these share the same income qualifications. So if you get one, make sure to get the other. Additionally, get a $4,000 tax credit. Many dealerships apply this credit at the point of sale, so you could get this discount immediately. Now, do note that the used EV tax credit has a cap of $25,000. So the vehicle price must be $25,000 or less. So once you stack all these incentives, you get a pretty hefty 40% discount. So this is an example for a new EV. This is for the 2025 Chevy Equinox. It is a fully electric car. On top of the $2,000 EV SVCE rebate, you get the new EV federal tax credit up to $7,500. Now, the new EV tax credit has several requirements when it comes to battery components and assembly. Basically, they want to incentivize cars that are made in the US. So if your car only meets some of those requirements, you might only be able to get half of this credit. So make sure to check out on this government website to see if your vehicle qualifies for the full or half credit. And once you stack these incentives, you get $9,500 off of MSRP. So getting a vehicle is only part of the cost. If we look at the full cost of ownership of a vehicle, we have to look at fueling, insurance, and maintenance. And especially when it comes to maintenance, EVs are just much easier compared to gas, right? They have fewer moving parts in the car, right? So you won't have to do your car service visits anymore, really, which can save you a lot of time and money. And if you want to play around with cost comparison, you can visit our EV Finder tool. You can actually plug in different makes and models, EV versus gas versus hybrid, to see what that cost comparison can look like. Okay, we have reached the last section. Thank you all so much for your patience. So I'm going to close out with summarizing the resources you can use to get started. If there is one resource to remember from this entire presentation, it is our eHub. So this will get you to all the rebates and resources we have discussed today. You can use the incentive finder to input some info, and it will filter out the incentives that you're eligible for. Now, sometimes you want to just talk to a real person, right? Especially if you have questions that you can't Google or Chat GPT. So that's where our Go Electric Advisor can come in to help. It is our free live service. You can call, email, or live chat with a trained energy expert. You can ask them questions like, what rebates do I qualify for? Can you help me do an energy audit for my home? Can you help me review these quotes that I've gotten from contractors and give me an unbiased opinion? So this is a really great resource if you just want someone to, walk through some of these questions with you. Our EV Finder, great for exploring EVs. You can find rebates, incentives, compare cost of ownership across specific EVs and hybrids and gas cars. You can even browse the exact cars, new and pre-owned, that are available at dealerships near you. And you can also find public charging stations on our charging map. Now, this last resource we already covered earlier. It is our Assisted Home Upgrades portal, where you can find contractors, get free quotes, stack rebates, all in one place. And all of these resources are free and available to all of our residents. Okay, so we have reached the end. I promised you 30 minutes, right? 35-minute mark. So